Come on. Go on you, go on, up you go. Well, only one's up here again today. Right, it's August the 20th, so I thought about time I'll give you an update, I suppose. Mrs. is getting on very well with the boys plot. She's taken it over since he's changed jobs, and you can see what she's been up to. So she's got it all cleared. If you remember a couple of videos back, it was all weed and covered in that. In amongst all the weed were 5 sweet corns plants, which we've cleared. And there was a little fuchsia in there for some reason, just behind the sweet corn, which we're going to keep. A little bit of colour to the plot. It's in an odd place, but it'll be alright. So we've put that in. She's tidied up down the bottom end, put some flowers in, and we're going to sort the trees out as well when the winter comes, and we just need to prune them, or the autumn we need to prune them. We're covering most of it over to get started a jump on it for next year. But as you can see, it's all clear. We've rotivated some of it. I've still got some more to do. So, but it's a lot better than it was. I'm not embarrassed when I walk past it now. So, and I think the plan is we're going to keep it, to be honest. This is not what you call a full plot. It's quite a narrow strip, so we'll either stick a load of spuds in it next year, or it'll become my squash patch or something. I don't know yet, but we'll see. But plenty of time to work that one out. All the allotments up here are looking quite nice and green now. We've still got a couple of derelict ones, but this is Henry's plot, and like the other Africans we've got up here, they love their white corn. So you can see that some of that must be 10 foot tall. So yeah, apart from that, there's not that much more corn on here, apart from Henry's behind me, which I've just shown you, and Noel's, which is the plot next door to me. But the other plots are looking well. I've had a few sunflowers. The best one for my money was Yan sunflowers, which are around about 8 foot tall. You can see that one that's leaning over. It's probably a foot across, that flower, maybe a little bit more than that. I don't know if you can see it there. It's facing down, but it's about a foot across, that one. So yeah, he's done well with that. I was going to plant some sunflowers myself this year, but never got round to it. And over in the back there you can see all that corn there. That's my neighbour's plot, Noel's plot. It's more like maize. It's not sweet corn, it's more like maize, that one. So he's just taken over the top half of this one as well, which he's planted out all the squashes, and put some tomatoes in as well. So now we come up to plot 8, which, as you say, the weeds, it's been fighting a losing battle with the weeds this year. My job's quite pressured and takes up a hell of a lot of my time, probably more so than the plot. So very often I can't get up here as often as I want, and when I can get up here I can't put the time in I want. But it's been a good year. I mean, it's not finished yet, but we've had quite a few. We've been eating off it all since the summer. I think my 2 squashes there are ready. We got them in probably a little bit too early, but they've done all right. I planted some potatoes in this piece here and down here, but they were awful, really awful. Not much of a show at all on them. And then I think this year's all been about learning. I think I found out after watching one of Sean James Cameron's videos that I've been overwatering, which is probably why the potatoes didn't do what they should have done. So simple as that. And I think we had a few problems with some of the other plants because of that very reason, overwatering. There's me runners. They're doing really well. I'm just pulling them up every day, and you know, we're freezing them up now, so doing really well. That I think I've got 9 plants there. But the guy who had it before me had I think it was 20 canes, because I took the other 10 down, and oh, God knows what he did with all his. I really don't know. But my butternut squashes have been a little bit disappointing. I have got some on there, but they're very, very small, very late this year for me. Anyway, this time last year I had quite a few on there, and they were, you know, sort of, you know, sort of half size. These are half the size of the ones were this time last year. So, and this little butternut squash here hasn't done anything, so I'm going to pull that out. Got the old leaf mould on the courgettes. I've still got a couple more on there. I don't know if I'm going to get any more off of there. It's produced loads this year, as they do. But I've got quite a bit of leaf mould on there now, so I think when these ones come off, I'll probably take these up. I think the Marina di Chioggia pumpkin is probably ready as well now, because this plant seems to be, there's a bit going on up that end, but I'm not sure if this is dying back a bit yet, but I don't think that squash is getting any bigger. It's quite an ugly looking thing, but I don't think it's going to get any bigger. There's some teeth marks on there from the probably from the foxes. They seem to be having a go at everything up here. I can't grow a marrow up here, the foxes have it. These are me, let's just zoom out a little bit. Yeah, these are me Swedes and me turnips. I pulled a couple of turnips up. I'm going to cook them this weekend because I've not had them before. I see I've got some peppers in there and some late tomatoes as well out there. We'll see how they go. This thing's weeding. I'll get on with this one tomorrow, but this is me mega squash, which doesn't seem to be doing too much at all now. It's got to that size, and I think that's about it. So I don't think it's going to be as big as we first thought, that one, but it doesn't matter. It's there. That's the main thing. This is me cucumber plants, and I missed the boat a little bit with these, with the climbers. So I sort of was hanging them off of here and doing bits with them, but I didn't really get them climbing how I wanted them. But it don't matter. You learn. I've learned a lot this year, hell of a lot this year. But I've got more cucumbers growing, and I've got a load of gherkins. The gherkin plants there, they've been like courgettes. They just keep coming and coming and coming. And today I've been pickling gherkins, so I made a relish out of it and pickled some spears. So that's all right. But yeah, they're doing okay. So, but I'll probably be pulling them up. I think when I get this next lot of gherkins up, I'll probably pull them up, because there's only so many gherkins a man can have in a year, I think. My Cox's pippin's doing all right. Got a few apples on there. They're not ready yet, but they're coming along quite well. I've had to prop a couple of the branches, because especially this one here is just too much fruit on it. And I've taken a lot of fruit off of this. So yeah. But nothing on the others. Absolutely nothing at all. I think I had 2 plums. That's about all I had. 2 plums on that. 2 cherries and 2 plums. I did have some red currants, but not as many as last year. So it's probably something I'm doing wrong, rather than anything wrong with the plant. My figs, put a bit of wood on there. There's some leaves on that, and that's my honeyberry. Got from Wilkes last year. Hasn't really done much. I didn't get any berries on it this year, but we'll have to see with it. You know, we'll have to see. And this is me autumn gold raspberries. I think they're autumn gold or something, fall gold or something. I don't know, but they're quite nice. Preference is the red raspberries, but they're okay. And this one has really gave me some raspberries this year, unlike the other raspberries I've had. I've planted an extra couple out, and I'm going to dig a couple of ones out from last year, because didn't do much at all really. Yeah, and down here, beetroots, Swedes, and yeah, beetroots and Swedes. There's my hollyhock there. Lovely flowers. I had a few, but I was away, and we had quite a hot spell, and it killed most of them off in the greenhouse. So all I ended up with was that. So I'm quite happy about them. They're either hollyhocks or chrysanthemums. I'm not much into flowers, not much into anything, to be honest. This is my horseradish. There's a couple of parsnips in there growing along, and this is where I've been growing my carrots. So we've had quite a few up there. They're a nice size too. Around the back of the shed. This is some of my sweet corn. Not doing that well. The stuff I grew from a seed, which is this here, I got these as a garden centre. I was throwing them out, you know, they were in the pots, so I just took them. and but they've not been that good. And these are the ones I grew from a seed, and I've had some nice big cobs up there. I'm sort of running out now. I've had quite a few of them. I'm running out now, so which is a shame. Inside me netting there, I think the ones in the middle are Caillettes, I'm not sure, but in which case I'll probably have them out anyway. The ones down there on the left, there someone's at me over the, I think, oh, Chelsea. I just heard someone hollering over the back in the houses, and I heard him say Chelsea, so sounds like Chelsea might have just scored. But yeah, along this side here we've got some Brussels, so I'll be looking forward to them. I should get some good ones on there, unlike the ones at the top of the plot, which are very sort of very small. So I don't think I'll get much off of them at all. Yeah, so that's me corn, and most of that's ready for picking now, which I'll get that off in the next week or so. Very nice, lovely flavour. Down there I've got some celeriac, three in there. The slugs ate one, but these ones are stuck in and they're doing all right. You can see the base of them. We're not there yet, but they're coming along. So they're okay. And I've also got one in the cage there. We'll have a look at the greenhouse. Right, so greenhouse has been a godsend this year. This is the first year I've had a greenhouse, and it really has been brilliant. Been part of my success this year, to be honest. Yesterday I pulled the cucamelon down. I had a cucamelon in the middle there, and I just let it go, and it tied up with me melon there, and tied up with the tomatoes, and we just had punnet and punnet of cucamelon, which was, it was nice. Quite enjoyed it. Gave a load away. I've still got some in the fridge which I took off yesterday, and I'll enjoy them at some stage. These are me melons. Ended up with 3 melons in the end. These are called an Arava melon, and I think that's about ready now. And I've got one on the second shelf there. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, which isn't ready yet. You can see it's still green, but it'll get these light brown flecks in it, which will, to me, and by tapping it, it's like when I buy a melon in Tesco's, I always hold it in one hand and tap it with the other just to see if it's hollow or not. And if it's a little bit hollow to me, that tells me it's about ready, because but what do I know? These are my jalapeno. And you can see I've got one there. Yeah, one there. And I've got some flowers on this one. I've got some later tomatoes there, which I only planted a couple of weeks ago. We'll see how that goes. Temperature in here at the moment is 22 degrees. High of 46, nearly 47 degrees today in the greenhouse. Spring onions in there, some coriander over the back, some strawberry cuttings which I took off of one of the plants I'm growing over there. That's me. This one at the back is me grapevine, which I will plant directly into the ground in the greenhouse and grow it in the greenhouse, I think. Over the back here you can see this is my basket of fire chilies, and you can see they're starting to go red. These are supposedly very hot, which basket of fire would probably explain that as well. And these ones, I'm not sure what these chilies are, but to be honest, they're like the big sweet chilies. They're not, no kick to them at all. They're nice, but there's no real kick to them. So yeah, that just about, I think that just about runs up the plot. We bought a bench for the plot, me and the missus, which is a nice little spot. We stop and sit down here and have a cuppa and watch the world go by. So yeah, that's about it from plot 8. Still a lot of stuff to dig up and a lot of ground to turn over, but we bought a rotavator a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, I've had to do a bit of tinkering with it. It's second hand, done a little bit of tinkering with it, but it's actually quite good. So it's a 6.5 horsepower one. It's more like a copy of the Honda one made in China, but love to get some engine manuals for it, but can't seem to find anything on the web. By trade I was a mechanic, so I know my way around an engine, but it's some of the tolerances I'm after which I can't seem to find. So yeah, so it still wants a little bit of tinkering with, but it is working. It needs you need to be careful with it, gentle with it, but it's working, and I will get the rest of the plot turned over as stuff starts coming up, and I'm going to get some of the membrane that I saw Sean James Cameron using, because I'm going to cover a lot of this off, let the weeds die back, the top end of the plot, the bit we took over in November last year. That has, that has been a real, there's so much weed in it, really is, and it's deep in, and it's bindweed and God knows what. So I'm going to cover a lot of that over as we start taking stuff off. Apart from that, I think that will do. Like I say, please continue to watch them, comment and subscribe and like. I really am enjoying it. I've learned quite a lot with even with the video end, which was something new to me, but the things I've learnt this year on the plot has set me up for next year. The organisation of it, you know, that's been the big one for me. The big headache for me is getting the seeds out on time, and the seeds in the pots on time in the greenhouse. And that has been I haven't done too well on that this year, but I know what I'm doing next year. That's the thing. The same with the cucumbers and gherkins. I want to build a frame and have that all sorted out before I plant them out next year, which is good. But that said, I've had some lovely cucumbers over there. They may not look fit enough for Tesco's, but they're fit enough to eat. They're lovely. Right, so that will do us. So from me and Alfie, we'll say goodbye for now.